Hey everybody. Hey everybody. Welcome to Kiki Loves Nigeria. Hey y'all, I know it has been a minute. I try to do lives at least once a week, but sometimes life get in the way. Like that's what's been happening as life has been in the way. So I have to do training at school, like a lot of training. Okay. They're just requiring lots and lots of training. And the training is draining. Along with teaching and the training, it's just I'm drained, and so it's hard for me to come on YouTube, after doing all that stuff. So that's where I've been, and I missed you guys, but I've been meaning to talk about this. Hey, Anonymous, I've been meaning to talk about this for a long, long time. Okay. So let me go and get my scripts because I want to talk. When I want to talk about stuff, I'll start skipping around and I'll forget the most important stuff. So let's get on here and start. Let me introduce myself for people who don't know me because sometimes the videos will come up in recommended videos for people and they don't have a clue who I am. They just, you know, click on the video. So for those people who do not know me, my name is Kiki. Kiki Loves Nigeria, and I am a YouTube content creator. And what I talk about on my channel, I try to focus on things that impact us as we repatriate or even go visit West Africa. And I focus on West Africa. Some people say, why do you just focus on West Africa? Well, I like to talk about things I know about. I'm not the type of person who just gets on YouTube and just talks about things that I wish I knew about. I talk about things that I know about, okay? So I know about West Africa because not only have I studied West Africa, but I've traveled to West Africa. I've been to the continent of Africa 12 times. Okay, I'm in the process of planning my 13th trip there. So that's why I talk about West Africa, because like I said, it's something that I'm familiar with and it is something that I know about. So I'm not just sitting up here talking. So that's why I focus on West Africa. Now, tonight, here lately, we've been focusing on Nigeria. The scams have been coming out of Nigeria. But this scam, did I tell you who I was? Oh, I said I'm from, my name is Kiki Loves Nigeria. I'm a content creator on YouTube. I talk about things that impact our repatriation journey. And one of the things I'm talking about now are I'll do series. So you'll notice that you'll see me do different series or talk about different things. Okay. So we'll do what we're talking about now is this new romance scam. Y'all, and this one is crazy. I thought they couldn't get no crazier than they already were with the older women coming back and passing away with the last lady we just did. I didn't think they would get any crazier than that, but they have. Okay. And what made me start researching men was because I was watching YouTube. I watch YouTube a lot because I get a lot of my content, my research from YouTube, because YouTube is a primary source, people. So that's why they make you create your videos because your video is considered a primary source. So that's why they don't like you using other people's material. So I was looking for actually, I was just watching videos and I saw them, these people were making fun of women who were repatriating and they were calling them passport sisters. And they were making fun of these women who were passing away in West Africa. They were saying that they don't know the game like them. They don't have the game down like them, that these women cannot do what men do. And this is why they're passing away in West Africa. I was so appalled by this. I couldn't believe that these men were actually, and these were African American men too, also. I couldn't believe they were thinking like this. I couldn't believe they were making videos, like basically celebrating these women, running into some kind of difficulty on their repatriation journey because they felt like, how dare these women think they can go back to Africa and do what a man does, and I'm just like, wow. that's really crazy, because I said I knew that this very thing that I had been talking about was also happening to men. I just hadn't gotten to it because I went to Gambia. Then I got back from Gambia. I went straight to work, and I hadn't gotten to it. So I'm like, I just can't believe they really think that that women are the only ones being impacted by this. So I remember the first time we talked about this. Yeah, look at this comment on the screen. Yeah, look at the comment on the screen. What? Well, I'm going to let you have your fantasies, okay? And I'm going to let your ignorant comments stay up there so people can see what I go through just trying to bring you guys information to keep you safe in West Africa. Oh, God. Okay, let me get back to the point. So I said, no, this is probably one of those people I'm talking about. Okay, so I was like, well, let me enlighten these men who think that this is all women can do. What this Mr. whatever his name is, Mr. Uh, Zatar or whatever, um, uh, they think like this, and who think that women just I don't know, they're in some type of competition with women, and that's just crazy to me, for a man or for a woman to think that we're in some kind of type of competition together. I mean, against each other. So I was like, well, let me enlighten these people and let me show them what's really going on with passport brothers. Okay, what's really going on with them. Okay, now we're not going to talk about the ones tonight who've gotten hurt in these countries and what they've done. What I want to do, I couldn't just jump into this topic, right? Because it wasn't like anything we had talked about before. This involved two types of scams. Okay, so I said first I got to explain the scam to everybody because they're not going to understand. So I have to explain it. So that's what I'm going to do. I got to explain it. I want you to understand what's causing it. Okay. Now this scam, why we need to know about it again, because it's impacting those who are trying to repatriate to West Africa, and even those who visit West Africa. They could be victims of this type of scam. Okay. And it's impacting men and women. And also the saddest thing about it is that victims of this type of scam, they usually um, unalive themselves. That's the difference I found between the men and the women. When the men lose this type of money, they tend to unalive themselves. And that was just like, wow, that was something that I didn't anticipate that. I didn't anticipate to find that so many men had talked about it, attempted it, or actually unalived themselves because they had gotten scammed, in this pig butchering romance scam. Because this scam leaves these men basically with nothing. And now it can impact women. Don't get me wrong. It does not. It's not that it cannot impact women, but they tend to focus on men. Now it's impacting men and women who are retired. So this is who they're targeting. They are targeting. This is another thing that is crazy, that this group is targeting seniors. It is targeting people who are in their 50s. Well, I wouldn't call 50 people seniors, but it's with people with retirement. Let me put it like that. Okay. If you have a retirement, or you are that's what they said, established. They said anybody who is established, not somebody who's getting a once a month check, unless it's a retirement check, but somebody who is established. That's who they go after. And they said these scams are so bad, and they leave these people so broken financially and emotionally, that these people are actually unaliving themselves at alarming rates. All right. And who is this impacting? Like I said, it's impacting men and women who are most of them are online looking for love. They're online trying to, find somebody to talk to, or just, spend some time with. And they said that this is impacting middle-aged men and women looking for love on the internet, who are middle-aged, who are lonely. So I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said seniors, who are middle-aged and lonely, and people who have established themselves not only in the United States. This is going on all over the world. This is an international scam. Okay. So this is a big international scam. So let's see who's on here. Hey, Miss Arnold, how are you tonight? So this scam was really alarming. Like I said, I haven't heard of it. No, I haven't heard of it. I told you I hadn't heard of it either. I was just looking. Hey, Curly, stay ready TV. How you doing, girl? You know I'm a faithful fan, always watching you. Uh, so I hadn't heard of this fan. I hadn't heard of this scam either. Is that it? Probably is, girl. And that's probably one of his fantasies. He talking about James really like me. He know it's him that really like me. Girl, that's why Cynthia be mad, having a stank attitude all the time. Cause he be up on the internet watching my videos on YouTube, pretending to be his. He don't even pretend no more. He just told us it was him. Talking about James want to go on a date with you. No, it ain't James, honey. It's you. It's Rick. Girl, yes, that's what I said. He the one be sitting up fantasizing about me all hours of the night. That's why Cynthia can't stand me, because she know Rick like me. She know Rick is in love. She know he is in love. She knows he's one of them geeky love Nigeria, just obsessed people. She knows he's one of them. She knows that. And she's just sick. Poor thing. Needs some attention. Couldn't get, no, he couldn't. Girl, that's why he come on here and wish he just sit on here and fantasize. That's what he do. Okay, Rick, you can stay. I'm not gonna block you. I'm not. I'm gonna let you stay on here and talk your trash and live out your fantasies. If I was with that man, Cynthia, I would fantasize too, honey. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. But it's just hilarious that you thought that kind of you thought that kind of language was gonna offend me. I'm not a child, sir. I'm a grown woman. What is the pig butchering scam? So this was the first thing I had to figure out. I didn't even know what it was. I just saw this pig butchering stuff. And I'm like, what in the world is the pig butchering scam? So the pig butchering scam is what they call it. It includes the cryptocurrency market. And that part was just crazy to me. I'm like, what? Cryptocurrency. So they said this is a growing scam, which means this scam is new. It started when COVID came, okay? Because people was locked down, people had extra money, and people were investing in cryptocurrency. So this scam involves cryptocurrency. So if you got somebody talking to you about cryptocurrency, or wanting you to go buy cryptocurrency or do some cryptocurrency stuff for them, that's more than likely a scam. So let me tell you how this works. They said that what they do, it includes extensive contact with you. So they're not going to start and end this in a couple of months. This is the type of relationship that's going to go on for years. Okay. They want you to trust them. They got to build up their trust. And they have to make sure they steal all of your investments. So they know they can't just come in and say, okay, give me all of your investments. They know, what are you all, they can't come in and say, what investments do you have? They know they can't do that. They know they can't come in and say, well, tell me about your retirement account. Tell me about your retirement investment. They know they cannot do that. Okay. So what they got to do is come in like a friend or like a lover. That's how they're going to come in. Okay. So first, let's go on. Let's back up. See, that's what I take notes because I will get ahead of myself. So this is what they said. I want to give you some background because, like I said, I had never even heard of this scam. This is they call it the cryptocurrency scam. And it started in 2022. Well, it didn't start, it blew up in 2022. So far, people have lost nearly nearly $6 billion. Let me repeat that. In this international scam, people have lost nearly $6 billion. Okay. And this is according to the cryptocurrency crime report, which took place in 2023. So they said the difference in this scam, what makes this scam so unique and different than other ones, is that it mixes romance scams and friendship scams and investment schemes. It mixes those two together. Normally, it's either just a romance scam where I want to get your money or I want to get a green card, and then once I get it, I'm gone. Or once I get the money, I'm gone. Then we seen the romance scams where they want to marry you, like the Nigerians. They want to marry you. They want you to come to Nigeria, and then somehow you get kidnapped by a group of masked Nigerian men at the airport. I'm sorry, y'all. I shouldn't laugh at that, but that part was just a little outlandish to me. But anyway, this is what's been happening. So now this is a new one. They're not kidnapping you now. They are taking your investments. They're targeting these men because men, they're totally different from women. They don't handle embarrassment well. A man, it's really hard for him to say, I've lost everything. I've given everything away and I have nothing and I have to beg. I'm going to be homeless soon. A man is going to say, oh, okay, I played the fool. Now there's nothing left for me. Then I'm out of here. And that's what they're doing. That's what these men are doing because they're feeling totally, totally taken advantage of. And they're not even telling people. They're not even telling people because they think how can I be a man and tell these people that I've been made a fool of and I've lost everything, that I'm going to be homeless, that I have creditors coming to my home, that I have no retirement anymore. I gave it to some woman that I don't even know, that I met on Facebook, that I met on WhatsApp, that I met through an email, that I met on what is that, Google Meets or Google Hangouts or whatever it is. Like I said, the name of this scam is called the pig butchering scam. And why do they call it the pig butchering scam? Because this is what they do. It gets its name from how they run this scam. And what they do before they steal your money is they build up your trust. Okay, like I said, they build up your trust. And now this is how it goes. Wait a minute. Let me go back up here because I don't want to miss any of this because I want to make sure everybody understands this. Because my niece was just here tonight, and you're not going to believe, but she was talking to me about some woman who is her friend that she met on Facebook who wants her to invest money in a cryptocurrency trading. It sounds like a pyramid scheme. It sounds just like this, but it's like a pyramid scheme. But we're going to get to all that. But that's how serious this is. This is how fast this is going around. They said one man lost almost $1 million after his contact with this person who was pretending to be an old colleague because they'll go through your pictures. They'll go through whatever they can find out about you, and they can pretend to be that person. You're not video chatting that person. You're just talking with that person. And some of them will even step it up because some men who were victims of this, they demanded to video chat. And guess what? It was the person on the picture. It was the person on the picture. So he was talking to this lady. But guess what? The lady was working with the scammers. So that's what I'm telling you. You can't trust this. Like last week, last time we were on here when Jay was on here and the uncle. See, it'll be situations like that. And they'll target men. So let's finish. Because they know men are just, and could, men will be, they play helpless women. I need help financially. I can't support myself financially, and I need your help. Can you please help me? So they'll play those financial, they'll play like that. And then they'll find a man who's empathetic and who will fall for that. And these are the ones they will target because they can tell by your profile what kind of person you are. These people are skilled at reading social media profiles. So, again, what is the pig butchering scam? You got to understand this. The pig butchering scam is known as a romance scam and a long term fraud scam. It combines investment scam and romance scam. So, if you meet somebody who's talking to you and cryptocurrency, three things talking to you about love or friendship, investing, and investing, not only investing, but investing cryptocurrency. That's probably more than likely that's a pig butchering scam. So let me tell you about this scam. Like I told you, we was gonna leave the Nigerians alone tonight. Y'all not gonna believe where this scam originated from. This scam started in Southeast Asia. Yes, Southeast Asia. Because I was wondering, why were so many of these men like talking to Asian? These women were Asian. Most of them were Asian. And I'm like, they were Asian. So this is not the typical Nigeria, but Nigerians will use Asian women photos. So don't think they won't. They will. But the thing that tricked me, we don't know who's behind these scams. We don't know who actually are the people behind this scam, but they could tell it originated in China. And most of the victims say they're talking to Asian women. Most of these profiles are Asian women. Okay. So the phrase, I'm not going to even say it, but there's a Chinese word. They got this from the Chinese word that means pig butchery. Now, they think it's a big conspiracy. They think this is a big ring. Okay. They think this is a big ring that goes on internationally. Hold on. They think this is a ring that goes on internationally and they target dating sites, social media sites for their victims. All right, so we're going to stop right here and I'm going to look at your questions because I don't want to give you too much too fast. Because the way they operate this, a lot of people won't even know. They'll think, oh, I see. Like I'm telling my niece what to look for. And she's like, well, I seen her. She's making money. I said, yeah, she's going to show you that she's making money because that's part of the scam for her to show you that she's making money so she can get you roped in. And then you're going to make money in the beginning. But when you want to take your money out, that's when you're going to have problems. Oh, goody, we're talking about GA Rick. He just, he's just ridiculous. He's just ridiculous. He's mad because I haven't been on here. I told you, Rick, I have to work. I'm sorry. I have to work. I don't go on YouTube and ask for money. Okay. So I have to work. I can't live a good life like you and Cynthia off of YouTube donations. So I have to legitimately support myself every day. And they require me to go to training so I can be the best educator that I can be. And that's what I have to do. So please forgive me, Rick, that I've been gone for more than 7 days. Okay. I promise. I'll try not to let that happen again. And you know I'm gonna always support you. You know I will. You know you always got my support. So let's see. I'm still waiting on Rick to boldly go to Gambia's spa. So he's not gonna go anywhere by himself. He don't go. He need his part. He need his protector Cynthia to go with him. I think Kenny needs to boldly go. Oh, y'all stop. No, 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 no. But Rick, yeah, I've heard you have anonymous. Oh, good. Then you on top of things because I had not, and I was shocked when I was sad because I was reading about all these men. What was it? It was like about 5 men, and I was shocked, and they were all unaliving themselves, and I was like, what? What is going on? And some of them, y'all, were not Asian. Some of them were Nigerian. We're going to talk about each one of them because I didn't really see any stories like that. Like each man, he didn't have his own story. Hold on, that's my sister calling. Each man didn't have his own story. Like it might have been a news report or something. Hold on, y'all. It's got to go back. Uh, hold on, y'all. So it was like a news report. It would be like a news report or something, and that would be it. There would be nothing else about this person, nothing. So I'm like, okay, I gotta at least let people know what happened to this person out of respect to them. I think if somebody loses their life like that, their story should be told. So each one of them, I'm gonna tell their story because it's really sad. It's really sad. This was somebody's father. Some of them were grandfathers. They were uncles. It was just crazy. Men, yes, and that's what's crazy. That's the thing we gotta realize that men may not say like women do, I'm lonely or I need love or, I'm sick of being by myself. They won't say it like we will, but they need love just like we need love. They want relationships just like we want relationships. They're vulnerable like we're vulnerable. And we have to realize that we're different, but you know what? We're human. And we all bleed blood. We all bleed the same. We all have the same emotions, basically. So loneliness is real. And we're going to talk about that in a few minutes. That loneliness is the cause of all of this. Loneliness is the cause of these men getting in these relationships. Now, if these men did not need love, then why would they be lonely? Why would they be isolated? Why wouldn't isolation be okay for these men? Because each one of these men were lonely and isolated. And they fell for this woman they met. But little did they know she was going to take everything, including their LIFE. And that's just unbelievable to me. So let's go back and finish this. Wow. Because I really can't wait to start telling y'all these stories. So this is how it works. This is what I want y'all to know how it works. So it starts, it typically starts the same with the fake profile. So you're going to see a fake profile. Now this one is different because they'll reach out to you and say, um, act like they contact us. They'll say you were a friend. They thought you were a friend. Okay. And then you'll say, no, I'm not that person. But instead of them not talking to you anymore or saying, okay, they'll continue the communication. Okay. So their goal, remember, their goal is to gain your trust. Okay. Because they need to fatten you up like the pig. You know how the farmers do the pig before they take it to slaughter? They feed it, they feed it, they feed it. So that's what they're going to do. They're going to feed you love. They're going to feed you compliments. They're going to feed you trust. They're going to show you, oh, you can do this. Oh, I've done that. Oh, I'll help you do this. I'm somebody who's going to be there for you. I'm somebody who's going to guide you through this money making process. We're going to make this money together. And then you believe it. Once they got you fattened up, then you start investing on your own. You start sending more money, because you see, I'm making money. I'm making money. So, oh, honey, why don't you just take your whole retirement? You can invest it here. You see how you're making so much more money. Then we can retire in Gambia and we could just live like kings and queens with, easy. We can turn it into cryptocurrency and just live like fat rats. Yeah, we can. Before you know it, you've invested the whole thing. And now you need some money. You need some money because you sold the house also because she's talked you into selling the house. So you sold the house also. So now you need some money because you got to find some place to live. You want to rent an apartment, but you got to withdraw the money. And that's where the problems begin. So again, they fatten up the pig. Then they steal the cryptocurrency money. Like I just told you. When you go to get it out, it's not there. And that's the butchering. That's what they call the butchering part. We just butchered this pig when we get all the money. Because this person's gonna keep you so in love that you're not gonna ask for it back. He or she are gonna know when all the money is gone. They're gonna know when all the money is gone. Because after a while, you're gonna just say, I don't have any more to invest. I've invested everything. I've sold the house, I've sold my car, I'm on public transportation. I gotta find an apartment. I got to find a little bit of money so I can buy me a car so I can't get it on credit. I don't want to get it on credit. So when you go to get that money, it's not there. It's not there. After you were told it would be there. So again, this scam can happen on romance and dating apps, Facebook, any social media app. Um, it also can start with texting. They'll text the wrong number. So you can get these apps with you can download that have local numbers. Say you want a 913 area code phone number, okay? You can get an app to give you that phone number. And you can text people with that phone number and you can pretend like, oh, hi Johnny, how are you? And then he's like, oh, well, I'm not Johnny. Then you figure out, okay, well, how are you? You just strike up a conversation. The person will strike up a conversation with you. And that's the way you know. That's a sign. This is a romance scam because normal people are not going to do that. Normal people are not going to strike up conversations with people they do not know. So the scammer can also pull, this happened to one man, as a long lost contact. They'll go through your contacts and they'll pretend like they were one of your friends from the university, like a long lost friend from the university that just found you. They'll go look at your profile on LinkedIn. They'll find out things about you. So you got to look out for that too. And the scammer is the one who initiates the contact. That's what you got to remember. This person will initiate the contact with you. You don't initiate the contact with them. They're going to initiate the contact with you through social media, through dating apps, or text messages. So those are the things you've got to remember. You've got to remember the way they operate. And then you won't sit up and think, well, is this a scam? Well, if they're contacting you through one of those ways I just talked about, if they're talking about your investment, if they're talking about your retirement, if they're talking about you invest in cryptocurrency, if they're talking about you going to get this big return on your investment, I just told you that's a pig butchering scam. So you better beware. You need to block that person on every single thing because they're going to have you download an app. I haven't gotten to that part yet. But they're going to have you download something to your phone or to your computer that's going to take over your computer and that's going to get all your information, get all your passwords, get everything. Yeah, steal everything. This is what these people do. This is what these people do. So you can't just sit up here and just live in ignorance. So after the scammer they find their next victim. Let me go back up here and see what did I miss anything. So after they're going to find their next victim, They continue, yeah, they find them on dating apps, text messaging, all that we just talked about. So then that, like I said, after they find you, they said they're gonna do constant contact with you. They're gonna love bomb you. They're gonna tell you you're the best thing since sliced bread. They're gonna constantly be contacting you. They're gonna constantly be telling you how much money they've made. They're gonna constantly, this one man we're gonna talk about, he was into internet security, people. He did internet security. That's how he made his money, through internet security. But he was a victim. He was a victim. He still fell for this scam because he was lonely. So you got to be careful. So what they're going to do is they're going to talk to you and talk to you and talk to you. They're going to build up your trust in them. Okay, they're going to they're going to have you dependent on them for financial advice. They're going to have you dependent on them for investment advice, because they're going to present themselves to you like they're so successful, like this woman is doing my niece, like she's so successful because of her investing in cryptocurrency and her having some inside knowledge, because that's what they do. Either they know somebody inside or they have some inside knowledge that made them so wealthy through cryptocurrency. So again, the pig butchering scam is a romance scam. It is one of the popular ways that, remember the aligners, you guys, the aligners. When I start to talk fast, my tongue get all twisted up. So let me slow down. The pig butchering scam or a romance scam is either one. The FBI listed as a romance scam, and they said it's one of the popular ways that thieves steal cryptocurrency. They said again, you're gonna keep hearing me say tonight that they gain your trust, because that's what you got to understand. Because I'm telling my niece this is a scam, and she don't believe me, because she trusts this lady. She believes this lady. This lady has looked out for her. She's telling her this lady is this. She's saying, I'm looking out for you. I'm looking out for you. I'm giving you this free information. I got your back. So my niece looking at me like, why would she do that to me? She's looking out for me. She didn't have to give me this information. But that's what they're going to do. That's building your trust. That's making them think they're looking out for you, but they're not looking out for you. They're fattening you up. They're making you fat. They're building up your trust, making you fat so they can slaughter you in the end. So after gaining your trust, it encouraged the victim to invest in the currency trading. And that's what she said, she kept calling it, the trade. And I was like, what do you mean the trade? What trade? And then I was like, the trade. And then when I was working on the show while she was talking to me, because she asked me what was I talking about tonight, and I was telling her. And then it came up, the investment is the cryptocurrency trading. So she's leaving off cryptocurrency trading and just calling it the trade. Basically, the trade in cryptocurrency. So that it's the same thing. So the scammer guarantees you that you will make your money back. When somebody guarantees you, people, that you're going to make your money back, get away from that person. Don't invest with that person, because there's no investment people can guarantee you that you're going to make your money back. So the scammer guarantees you will make your money back either through an insider tip or through some investment knowledge. Okay? You hope you make your money back through investing. That's the hope. But nobody can say, I guarantee 100%. How can you do that? So that means you got some inside knowledge. You're not supposed to have inside knowledge. That's called inside trading. You can't do that. You can't have knowledge that other people don't have. And that's what I'm trying to tell my niece. Well, that's illegal if she has inside knowledge that other people doesn't have, and she's only giving that information to certain people. But that's the trust. That's how they build trust in you. Okay, that's the game they're going to make you think. That's the game they're going to play. So then the scam, this is when they're going to get you, right? So this is what I told her. I said, so after that, she's going to tell you to download an app. They're going to tell you to download this app. Oh, honey, download this app. Oh, best friend, download this app. Because this app, on this app, best friend, we can invest money and I can show you how to do it. And you don't have to go on, anything else through your bank or anything. You can go directly through this app. Or they'll have an app because she's telling me the app is Huntington Bank. And I'm like, wait a minute. It came to me after she left. They can do fake apps to look like Huntington Bank. You got to look at the URL address, okay? And that address will tell you if it's really Huntington Bank or if it's a fake URL address phishing for information, okay? So I forgot to tell her that, but that's what they'll do. They'll make it look like it's for real and it's really not. So most people don't know that. It'll say like Huntington Bank is huntingtonbank.com, okay, or Huntington Bank something else.com. It won't say like Huntington, and Huntington will be spelled with two T's or two G's.com, or it'll be Huntington, um, Huntington dash place dash nowhere dash slash slash dash com, something like that. Okay, those are not real, but they'll have it looking like it's real. They'll have all the stuff looking like it's real, and it's really not. So they have this app where you can just go on and you can just invest your cryptocurrency very easily. So you start investing on this app. But once you download this app, like I told you, this app has malware on it that's going to take, it's like spyware. It's going to take over your phone. It's going to take over your computer. And it's going to get all your information. It's going to steal all of your information. Sometimes they'll do this. They said, the FBI said they will offer to trade along with you. And this is what the woman was doing to my niece. Oh, we can invest together. You watch me do it, and we'll invest in the same things and we'll do it together. We'll do our cryptocurrency trading together. And I said, yeah, that's what they're doing. That's one of the ways they build up trust. Do y'all think she believe me? No, no. She don't believe me. She don't believe nothing I'm saying because this woman got a nice car. This woman talk like a nice game. She believe everything this woman is saying. So the scammer tells her to download the app. Or listen, y'all, it'll tell you to visit a website to make your trading. So either download the app or a website. Look for those two clues. But however, whichever one, either the app or the website, it's controlled by the scammers. They built it. It belongs to them. So they're going to get your information. They're going to get your information. Soon as you go to that site, soon as you download that app, they're going to get your information. And once they get your information, oh my God, it's just, they can do pretty much what they want to with it. So let's look at the questions. Any age of these guys, any age range of these guys? No, they didn't say. They don't even know who's behind it for real. They know that the women who are talking, because some of the women, this one man we talked about, we're going to talk about, he actually talked to his person. But these women, they said, are usually victims themselves. Like these women had invested and lost all their money. And they told them, if you do this, if you help me with this person, if you help me scam this person, I will help you get your money back. Okay. So that's what these women, they feel like these women are a part of it. So like, there's no, the women are usually younger. The men are usually, they're usually in their 40s. I think one of them seemed like the youngest was like 42. They were at retirement age because they had retirement. They had been working for a while and they had nice retirements, like investments with the S. So That's the rate. The victims tend to be 40, I'll say 40 and up. And the women, they looked like, or they sound like they were in their 20s and 30s. They were younger. They were younger and they were needy. They were younger and they needed help. They needed money for this. They needed money for that. They were not established women who were on their own. They were women who needed some type of support. But this report I was reading before the show, it said that anyone, even young people like my niece, can be a victim of this because they say young people are on the internet all the time. And young people are on these dating apps all the time. Like my niece on I think she said, I don't know, Instagram. She met, no, she's on Instagram. The lady's on Facebook. Okay. She's on all these different social media sites, meeting all these different people, which makes the younger people, I think they said 18 to 34, extremely vulnerable because they're on the internet and they're meeting these people. But these peer butchering people are not targeting 18 to 34 because 18 to 34 does not have an investment. They are not established. They're working to try to get established. So these scammers are not targeting these people. No, they're targeting 40 and up because they want people who are established and who have some type of retirement. So that's the difference that I saw in these scams. Yeah, hey Smiley, how you doing? So that's what I saw in these scams. And that they took everything. It was was like that a few years back. Folks were losing their minds. The joint. Oh, for real? What is that? What is that? Forage. What is that? I never heard of that. Thank God. Because that was crazy. These people, hey lady, how you doing? How are you doing? What you been up to? So yeah. Oh, forsage. What is forsage? For did I say it right? Forsage? For forsage? What? Okay. Well, tell us about that. I don't know what that is, but this is just crazy that people will. I don't know. But the reason that's why I want to know. I had to do the back before we even jumped into this. We had to understand what is going on because people can easily sit back and judge these people and say, "Oh, they should have known better. Oh, these were grown people. Oh, they were this, they were that." No, these people were lonely. These people were lonely. And loneliness does something to your brain. It really does. You don't think right. I told you when you're lonely, you get on some type of drug. It's like some type of drug, and it literally takes over your brain. And you would not talk to the people you're going to talk to when you're lonely, you would normally talk to. The people you would be attracted to when you're lonely, you would normally be attracted to. But the loneliness, you want to get rid of that aching loneliness so bad that things that you're not normally attracted to, you become attracted to. And this is when you set yourself up for all types of danger, all types of danger. But this loneliness is real. This is so real that we have to wake up and understand that this whole independent world that the West, this concept that the West teach, that is a woman doesn't need a man and a man doesn't need a woman, that's a complete lie. Because as you can see, that whole lie is blowing up in their faces. Because now who's being scammed? The people in the West. Who's unaliving themselves because they find themselves older and isolated because they believe this myth that I'm the independent person and I don't need anyone but myself. Well, guess what? When you don't need someone in your but yourself in your 30s, you don't need no one in yourself but yourself in your 40s, and you don't need anyone but yourself in your 50s. Guess what you're going to be when you're in your 60s? By yourself. Guess what you're going to be when you're in your 70s? By yourself. And guess what you're going to be when you're in your 80s by yourself? And you don't want that. You don't want that. I told you where I moved to. I think it was like a senior citizen place, like condos for seniors. I really do, because I'm surrounded by these seniors who are by themselves. I don't even see their adult children come visit them. And I'm like, this is what you have to look forward to. Independence. This is what you got for being independent all your life. And guess what most of them are? Retired school teachers. I kid you not. Retired school teachers. The scammers may stimulate to trade to make it see, that's what they're going to do in the beginning of it. They're going to stimulate to trade to make it look like you're making money. And that's what I told her. They're going to make you think you're making money in the beginning, okay? And they're going to tell you that you can withdraw money anytime you want to from the profits you gain, okay? So you're going to be 100% trusting them. You're going to be like, oh, this sounds so good. The victim then is encouraged because you see you're gaining money. One of the victims we're going to talk about, he said he gained like $4,000 overnight. He invested, I think he said, $2,500. He said that was nothing. That was a small amount for him. So that's what I'm telling you. These people have money to invest. So he said, I invested something little, $2,500. So he said, I invested that. I made like $4,000 on that. So he said, okay. And that was like overnight. So he said, I'm going to invest more. Then she was like, the more you invest, the more you get. So what does he do? He invests more, he invests more, he invests more. The victim then is encouraged then to add more money to the account and more money to the account. However, like I told you, when you want to withdraw your money from the account, that's when they say, hold up, wait a minute. You know that song by who I think it's by Dr. Dre and them when they say, hold up, wait, hold up, wait. Yeah, no, you're gonna have to hold up and wait. I think it was Dr. Dre. I don't remember. But it was one of them rappers. You gotta hold up and wait. That's how they gonna say it. They're gonna say, hold up, wait. Because wait a minute, they're gonna tell you, you got fees to pay. Yeah, you got fees to pay before you can access that money. And excuse me, not only do you got fees to pay, madam, sir, but you got taxes to pay on that money. You can't access anything till you pay your fees and your taxes. And of course, these fees and taxes are astronomical. Of course they are. So that's a way to stall you. So after that, the victim can't get his money out. Then they start to realize, oh, this is fake. This is fake. They start complaining. They realize this isn't real. This whole website isn't even real. Then they go back because they're going to say, I'm going to complain to the Better Business Bureau. I'm going to complain to my Attorney General. I'm going to file a complaint with the Federal Trade Commission because they handle internet fraud. And once they do that, they realize that the website is gone. The app is gone. Or they've been blocked from the app. They can't access the app anymore. They can't access the website anymore. And all their money is gone. Just like that. Just like that, people. Just like that. It's gone. Just like that. But it's not gonna, you're not gonna give them the money just like that. They're gonna take time to build up your trust in them. They're gonna take time to build up your faith in them. Then the money's gonna be gone. Once you start realizing, I need some money back. I gotta buy groceries. I gotta live off of something. And I done gave them all my money, all my investment money, all my retirement money. Some of them were still working. But most of them have moved their investments from whatever retirement account they had moved it from the trustworthy one to this one that was on online or on a platform. So their retirement checks, which come from your investments, no more. They weren't getting anything. As with any other scam, look for the promises. They look for large and quick returns. Look for if you see this person promising you large and quick returns, you know that's a scam. That's a scam. Also, this is what the FBI they are warning you. Avoid mixing because they cannot tell you what to do. But they say avoid mixing online dating with any investing advice. So if you're dating somebody and they want to give you investment advice, they said don't do that. Don't do that. Avoid those type of relationships. Avoid that type of person, especially if it's somebody that you've never met face to face. They said do not ever, ever, ever do that. So let's look over here. Let me go back to the comment. So this one says force forcage. I don't know how to say that yet. What an investment scam. Oh, see? Yeah, the pig butchering scam. That's what they are. They're pig butchering scams. They have a drug. They have a drug like that in Colombia called socopolamine. Man, get caught up with this from meeting females online a lot. I bet they do. Because in Colombia, man, a lot of them, a couple of people, well, I think one, I'm not sure to say a couple, but a lot of things happen down there. How old is your niece? She's almost 30. She's almost 30, so you know that's why she ain't listening, honey. She's almost there. She might, but you know, to me, they're young. So I don't. To me, they're 18 and they're way over that. They were telling me their ages the other day. I was like, what? Well, what? Well, how old am I? Because I told you I don't keep track of my age. So I'm thinking, wow, how old am I? You know, because I remember when they were babies. So I think I think she told me she's about 27. I think she is. I think she's about 27. But she don't live. They're just, but it's like when I was that age. That's why I never want to go back to being 20 and 30 because you don't listen. You think you know everything. You think you, at least I did. I thought I knew everything. So my grandmother always told me, you have to go through that bumpy road. So life is going to be a bumpy road for you because you don't listen. And then I learned to listen, y'all, because now, listen, you ain't got to tell me twice now. Lots of black folks get caught up in forcage. So more than 2 years ago. Well, I'm going to look that up when I get off of here. I'm going to look that up because we're going to do, I'm doing some shows about these people because it's just, I feel like their voice should be heard. Their story should be heard. They got a right to, people should know everybody's life is worth something. You know, that's just how I feel. And I feel like on my platform, I can tell your story. I can do that for you. I can tell people's story. I can share their story because I don't want them, you know, feeling like they're unaliving themselves or in vain. You know, that their story can save somebody else. Their story can save another man. You know, another man or another woman could just be sitting at home tonight, you know, on a Saturday night and just happen upon my channel and YouTube recommended. And they'll say, oh, well, this is what so-and-so's been talking to me about. Yes, because this is very real. And it's new, 2022. This is only 2023. So the FBI doesn't have a lot on it. They don't have a lot. People are just, and like I said, men don't talk. They don't tell their pain like women do. They don't come on YouTube and say, oh, I just gave this woman all of my money. I don't have nothing now. I have no place to live. Men don't do that. They don't do that. Western world, all the world tells men you can't do that. You can't show them vulnerability because you are a man. So what do? They take themselves out. Because one of them said, before he'll be humiliated, he knew he was going to be humiliated because he had to tell everybody what happened to him, everybody what he had done. So they said there's red flags that this is going on. So the first thing you got to do, the FBI are not warning you not to date online, but they're warning you to look for things. Date wisely. That's what they're saying. Don't do something that you don't know. Don't engage in things that you don't know the rules to. Okay? That's what I tell my kids. Don't think you deep in the game when you don't even know the rules to the game. You can't be deep in the game unless you know the rules to the game. Okay? So you can't be deep in this online game where you go into other countries to meet people, where you invest in money with them, where you're giving them money and you building houses with them and you're doing all this nonsense with them, but you don't even know the rules to the game. You don't even know the rules to the scammers game. You don't even know the signs. So you got to educate yourself because this is very, very real. And if you think it's hard in America, how hard do you think it is in other countries? I told you I just left the Gambia 2 or 3 months ago. And you think it got easier when I left? No. It's even harder over there now. People are sick, really sick. And they said it's really hot. And there's still rain. And in between the rain, it's the heat and the mosquitoes and the malaria and the flu and the viruses. And all that costs money over there because they don't have insurance like we got insurance. They don't have Medicaid for people who don't have insurance over there. So this money game is real. People are desperate, people. People are hungry. People are hungry. When people get hungry, and these young people, they're not having it. They're just not. These young people in Africa, half of the populations in most West African countries are under the age of what? 19? Over half of them. 19. They're not having that. They're not going to starve anymore. They're not going to wait for government to give them these empty promises that they never fulfill. They're not going to do that. They're going to they're going to do like we used to say when we were little. They used to say, my uncle and them used to say, you got to get in where you fit in. And that's just what they're going to do. They're going to get in where they fit in. And what that means is they're going to do whatever they can do successfully to make money. And if that means I got to pretend like I'm in love with you to get your money, to get all your money, then I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. And that's just what they did. So, wrong number. Like I told you, they're going to do the wrong number message. So if you get a message from somebody on your phone, they text you and they say, oh, it was an accident, it was a mistake. But they want to keep talking to you. You know how people back in the day, yeah, they would come. But you know what? That could have been a scam. No, they said this is a new one. That they would call and say, just want to hold a conversation with you. And they don't even know you, but they want to talk on the phone. It's just like that. Okay. They want to act like they got the wrong number, but they want to hold a conversation. They said, if you get that, delete that person message. Okay. Then block the person right away. Right away. And then they said, if somebody does that to you on social media, that's why I never liked Facebook, because I would always get these messages from people I don't even know. And I didn't like that. I felt like it was like interfering with my privacy because I'm like, I'm in my own private YouTube, no Facebook world. Why are you bothering me? I'm talking to my friends on Facebook. You're not my friend. So they would come in and they just start talking to you. They said when that happens, you need to block that person. Don't entertain that person. Do I know you? I remember you. No, block that person. And then report that person because People, that's called phishing. They're fishing for information, okay? But it's PH, okay? Fishing for information, fishing for your information so they can steal your money and your identity, okay? When it comes, so another thing they'll do, they offers guaranteed returns on cryptocurrency. So when it comes to FBI, always warns you when it comes to investing. They said always remember there are no guaranteed returns on investing. That's why the Dusty Divas could not get any money back. That was nice of them to give the money back to those people, but Invest Relocate Africa did not have to give any money back because there's no guarantees. But I think they said some people said that they guaranteed some return, so they did. That's why they gave the money back because they did make a guarantee. But the FBI is telling you there's no guarantees. No one can guarantee because you see what happened to it. Blew up. It blew up, and they lost. People lost it. People could not get any kind of return for real because it blew up. The Dusty Divas, out of their ignorance, blew up that country, that company, because they did not understand investing. That's why this woman is running around. Cynthia's bestie is running around the Gambia, suing people, still trying to get money from Crazy Boy, still trying to disrespect Art Kathy over $16,000 that she invested online with somebody she did not know and then lost the money because of her own wrongdoing. Because remember, the court in the Gambia said Investment Relocate Africa committed no crime. The court ruled that they committed no crime, people. This isn't just us saying this. But this woman who's so ignorant because she's Cynthia's bestie, the ignorance in the Gambia among African Americans is real. She's mad because she don't realize it's an investment. It's like throwing dice. You can lose or you can win. She lost because of her own ignorance, and this woman travels back and forth to Africa to sue people, and that's just crazy. The reason people fall for this kind of pig butchering scams is not for quick women. Okay, they're saying that the people who come after you, who do these pig butchering scams, like I told you, they do not do it quick in a hurry. They're not going to come in like some people you meet in the bumpsters. Okay, the bumpster's going to ask you for money right away. They're going to ask you for money straight up. Somebody you meet online, the romance scammer, the traditional romance scammer, he going to ask you for money right away because somebody going to get sick, something going to happen, and he going to need some money. So that's going to happen right away. But these pig butchering scammers, no. And they're not going to ask you for money. Remember, they're not going to ask you for money. They usually pretend they have money. That's the difference. They are well established. They have money. Okay? The pig butchering ones. Because remember, they're investing money. They're investing money. And they're going to show you, let's invest this money together. So they got to have money. They got to have money. The little ones who pretend like, oh, I don't have any money, that's the basic romance scammer. The basic romance scammer. But she can use cryptocurrency too. She can ask you for cryptocurrency also and send you to this platform also. Because remember, she could be working for the scammers. So you got to be careful. So fraudsters like to take their time to build these people up, like I told you. They want to take their time to fatten up the victim. They feel like the more you trust them, the more money you're going to give them. The more time I spend with you, the more money you're going to give to me, okay? Especially when it comes to cryptocurrency. They're going to teach you all about cryptocurrency. They're going to teach you why you should invest in cryptocurrency. They're going to show you how to buy cryptocurrency. They're going to show you how to download the app. They're going to teach you all about websites. They're going to teach you everything. They're going to show you how they built up this cryptocurrency stuff, how they're rich behind this cryptocurrency. So they're going to do all that. But they're telling you, beware of being directed to any investments that say you're going to get high profits. The FBI said, beware, beware. If they're telling you, I think they told this one man he was going to get 30, and he did, like 30%. It was something crazy. And he did. He said he did. And this is the one who attempted to unalive himself, but somebody found it. And he said he did. He said, I saw it with my own eyes. I saw this money coming into these accounts with my own eyes. I saw the money going into her account with my own eyes. I saw this. I saw it. I saw it for myself. So he had no understanding how it could not be real. So they're telling you, don't get involved. They tell you to go to these sites, platforms, do not get involved. And they said, do not share any personal identifiable information with any online contact. Like my name is Kiki Loves Nigeria, right? I don't use my professional name on the internet. That's why YouTube, well, not a, I used to have a Facebook page with that name on it, because when I was doing dance in the community, I had a dance team. I owned a dance team, and I did business with my real name, my professional name. So my professional name, I don't use it on social media. I don't use it on any social media platform, because social media, I don't want that to have anything to do with my professional life. Okay, this is who I am on social media. This is not who I am or what I do in real life. Well, that's not true. I educate people on social media and I educate people in real life, but I don't, mix the two. I don't mix the two. So they're saying, don't use, that's why I don't do it. I don't use any identifiable information. Okay. So they're telling you, don't do that. If you meet somebody online, don't give them your IDs. Don't Jay was saying, the uncle gave him, well, he has the uncle's ID. How do we know that's real? Nobody's going to give you their ID. The reason, I mean, for him to have it like that, that's strange like that, because most people won't give you their information like that. So they're saying don't do that, including financial information, including that. Even if this is some type of boyfriend, like I said, what did they say? It'll be a romance scam or a friendship scam. They involve the two with an investment scam. So you're going to say, oh, this is my future husband. We're going to get married. I'm going to Nigeria. I'm going to Gambia. We're investing money together. We're sharing bank accounts. I might as well give him my information. No. They move slowly, they said, and they gain your trust. They move very slowly and they gain your trust. He said, the FBI said, they give you elaborate gifts, so you think they got money. Yeah, you're going to see their bank account. They're going to slip up and show you their bank account. They got money. Yeah, they got money. And you're also going to see them on expensive vacations, because they want you to see. This is what cryptocurrency has done for me. They're going to show you all this. So that's going to let your guard down, because you're thinking about the traditional romance scam. You're thinking about the traditional romance scam where it's all about just the money, and this person don't have anything, and they're going to keep asking me for stuff, and they're going to be begging me for money. They're broke down and broke this and broke that, and this person is not presenting themselves like that at all. So your guard is 100% down. They're saying, the FBI is warning you, if this person comes on too strong, love bombing you, I love you, sending you gifts, expensive gifts, promising to take you on expensive vacations, they're telling you, Please be suspicious. Please be suspicious. And they're warning you. They're asking you to block this person. To block this person. Because they're telling you this is not real. This is not real. All right, so let's go back and get some questions. Wait a minute, let me see this part. So, okay, we talked about one more section and then we're going to go to the question. So we talked about this a little bit. The FBI said one thing they do, the scammers will trade with you. So what they'll do is, like I told you, they're going to ask you to download this app or go to this cryptocurrency online investing site. Okay. And they're typically tiers, like tier one, tier two, tier three. Then there's minimum investments. Okay. So say the first one is $1,000. You're going to invest in the lowest investment because you want to test it out. And they'll tell you just do the lowest one just to see what happens. Or 1,400. I think that's what this one man said. So he invested 1,400. He got his money back and some. So you're going to get a big investment back. And then you're going to move up and say, well, let me try. I did tier one. Let me try tier two. So what are you going to do? Then you're going to invest in tier two. Okay, you're going to invest more money because you're going to see more on your return. Then what are you going to do after that? Then you're going to invest in tier three. And tier three just goes up and up and up. So they said that's what you're going to, you can see that also. So if you see that, that's another sign you're involved in a financial scam, an investment scam. Okay, the scammer will trade with the victim to show how it works. So he's going to say, or she is going to say, oh, so and so, I'll trade with you to show you how it works. Something just came to me. I'm not talking about my niece that lives with me. No, my niece that lives with me is a little girl. This niece was the grown niece, was a grown niece that came to visit me. This is one of my grown nieces, not the niece that I take care of. That just came to me that she's probably talking about the niece that I live with. No, not her. She's not talking about any investment, anything. No, this was a grown niece that came to visit. So let me get back to that. That I wanted to just clear that up. So they'll say, come on, I'll do it with you. Let's just make sure, it works right. So the scammer will want to trade together so y'all can earn profits together. And you'll see the profits coming in and you'll be like, oh yeah, this is working. Guard's going to be down. You're going to be feeling good. Then you're going to say, okay, so it's safer to trade together. Let's just trade together on this platform. That way we won't be losing money. So that's another thing they'll say, that we can do this together. So the FBI again warns you, if anybody ever says that to you, to please block them. Do not invest with them and to block them. So let's go back up here and look at the question. All right. Let's see this one. It says, Forsexual was like, that's what this sounds like to me, like what she was saying. It sounds like a pyramid scheme. It really, and that's what I told her. The more she said, I said, oh, this sounds like a pyramid scheme. And she said, what is that? And I said, it's where they bring you in. She's got to bring people in for her to make more money. And they got to keep bringing people in and keep bringing people in. That's what it sounds like to me. I was explaining that to her. It sounds like a pyramid scheme. That's exactly what it sounds like, a pyramid scheme. Hey, for righteous folks, do you got another YouTube channel? Do you got another? Because, I was watching this other YouTube channel. It was about crime TV, these crime shows. They report on crime shows. And the person's voice sounds just like you. They don't show their face like you don't show your face, but their voice sounds just like you. Dang, I missed a lot. Hey, lady, I missed you. But I know you've probably been busy with life, just like I've been busy with life. Life just be calling, and you gotta go. Yeah, her and fishing as well. Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. They're fishing, okay? The Dusty Divas. Yeah, honey, the Dusty Divas was foolishness. That's ignorant black people who got a little stimulus money and just lost their mind. Crypto is wicked because it bankrupts plenty through scam. I know. My friend was trying to get me to do it, and I invested a little. How much did I invest? She invested like 3,000. Was it like? It wasn't even 1,000. I wasn't gonna even invest 1,000. And you know what? I did it through Cash App. I did it through Cash App. And I just started feeling funny about it. I just started hearing things about cryptocurrency. And I was like, let me take my money. It might have been $500. And I said, let me take my money out of here. Do you know when I went to go get the money out, I had lost 200, and it was only in there like a little bit of time. And I was like, yeah. And then she told me she had lost all. First, she was telling me she was making money. She was telling me she was making all this money. And then she kept telling me she was losing it. She was losing it like every day. She was losing money. I'm like, oh, wow. Yeah. So that's what happened. Um, check me out. So give me your information. What is the other channel? Tell me the other channel. Yeah, tell me the other channel. Because I wonder if this is the channel I was watching. So, okay. So I told her I wasn't, and just that little bit of time. And that's when I'm like, oh no. And then I invested with, who was that? Apple. I think it was Apple Computer. Or was it Disney? It was somebody, but it was before all this dropped. The economy got like it is now. And I was making money. I could see where I was making money. I wasn't making lots of money, but it was like little change, here and there. But it wasn't like the crypto thing. And I was like, no, it was a stock. It was stocks. I was buying stocks in, can't remember, but it was some company. And I said, I'd rather buy stocks in this company, and they were so against whatever group she was with, they were so against you buying stocks in these companies. They wanted you to invest it in this crypto stuff. And you know what? Now I think that was a whole scam too. I really think that was a whole scam. And her job was to get me in, and I wouldn't do it. The platform will, okay, so let me tell you another thing. This is another thing. They'll make you think you can make small withdrawals. Okay. So these people were making small withdrawals of their money. They were getting small amounts of it back. So at first, that's another reason they did not think that they were, they didn't suspect anything. Okay. And then they continued to invest more money and more money and more money. Okay. More money they invest, but it became harder to get it back. And then when they would have questions about their withdrawals, they would turn to their person, their friend or their lover who introduced them to this platform or to this company. And then all of a sudden, the lover who was so helpful, all of a sudden says, you need to talk to customer service. Yeah, you need to talk to customer service. So they turn to this customer service team, and the customer service team just does nothing but spin their wheel. The customer service team tells them why and gives them various reasons why they can't withdraw their money. So you're going to talk to a customer service agent because remember, this is a whole team of scammers. This isn't just one person like the lone wolf romance scammer. No, this is a whole team of scammers. So it's various clues that prevent the person from getting their money. No, I'm sorry, not clues, excuses. They're going to give these people excuse after excuse after excuse, excuse after excuse after excuse why they're not going to be able to get their money. Okay. And then after a while, they're going to start telling you that they're having technical difficulties, which is why you can't get your money. And then the server will actually break down. All right. So after the server breakdown, the pig butchering scam, like I told you, has been completed, because you're not going to be able to withdraw any sums of money. The account is going to be frozen. You can't get any money out without paying these exorbitant fees or these taxes that you knew nothing about. Yes, this is exactly what is going to happen. And by that time, by the time you realize that, it's going to be too late. It's pretty much just going to be too late, because your money is going to be gone. Your money is going to be completely gone. You're not going to be able to access your money. And you're not going to know what to do, because there's nobody who can really help you get the money back. So let me go back over here, get these questions. Oh, I'm sorry. Because that's a lot of work. YouTube is a lot of work. All right. It probably was God that spared you. She tried to get you. And right. It's just right, because it just didn't sound right. Because she was telling me all this money she was making with this cryptocurrency. And I was like, oh, and I wanted to do it. But then you're right. It was like it kept coming to me. No, no, I'm not doing this. No, I'm not doing this. It just didn't sound right. It just did not sound right. It just did not sound right. So let's go back so we can finish this. So, so this is what they want you to do. They want you to, before you do, so this is how you're going to avoid being a victim. You're going to check that website out. You're going to check that URL address out. You're going to make sure it's not a phishing website, okay? Because there are legitimate investing websites. So you got to check out that URL address and make sure it is not a phishing website, okay? You got to make sure that it is a financial institution, okay? So, like, for instance, like I told you, let's say Chase Bank. You got to make sure if it says it's with Chase Bank, it's CHASE.com, or I'm sorry, and not CHASSE.com, because they'll put that and they'll have the bottom look like Chase Bank, and it's really not. And it says they want you to always do your research, always be curious, about any kind of get rich scheme scenarios, because this was nothing but get rich quick she was talking about. She's done this and she's done that. I said, that just sounds like a whole scam to me. Just a whole scam. It doesn't even sound right. So it says always check for the legitimacy of the app before you even download the app. All right. You can also check with the Better Business Bureau. They also recommend, and I thought this was interesting, that you check on Reddit, okay, for the latest scams. I guess Reddit keeps the latest scams. I'm going to have to include that into my research uh, resources now. Uh, how can I tell if a website is legit? Well, the URL address, for one. You got to look at the URL address and make sure it says what it's supposed to say. Like this StreamYard, it says StreamYard.com. Then everything behind it is my information. Okay. A fake one will say, say StreamYard, and I have two Y's.com. Or to have a StreamYard blank, have the word actually blank dot StreamYard blank.com. The URL won't look right. But at a glance, if you don't know, then you will. Okay, you'll think that that's what it is. Okay, so it's StreamYard. It's going to StreamYard.com, but it's going to a special place on StreamYard. But StreamYard, okay, this is how they told us. The .com, look at the .com as the state, and the before the .com as the city. Okay, so I want to go to the .com, right? But I want to go to the city StreamYard. Okay, I don't want to go to the stream.yard.com. I don't want to go to that because that city is stream.yard. That's not StreamYard. Okay, like you.tube is not YouTube. Okay, it's you.tube. YouTube is YouTube.com. That's how you know. The site doesn't look right. Okay. And then it won't, if it doesn't have HTTP, all that stuff in front of it, and if it's not a lock there, it's not secure. Don't go on that site. Okay. So that's how you can tell. And you'll get emails like that also. They'll pretend to be somebody, like I said, they'll pretend to be YouTube when they won't be YouTube. And you can tell again the same way, because the email address will not look right. But you got to pay attention. You got to know what you're looking for. So when I was, like I said, I wanted to know what was causing this. Before we went any further about this, we had to talk about what was causing this. Okay. And what's causing this is really alarming. This stuff I'm about to share with you guys now is it's really alarming. So let me go down here. I gotta remember to bring home my mouse. I do not like working without a mouse. So it says it was caused by the pandemic. The pandemic caused all of this. They said there are 3 in 10 people who are lonely or who are socially isolated. So 3 in 10 people. Okay, so think about that. There's 10 of us on here. Say there's 10 of us on here. Out of every 10 people on here, 3 of those people, not 1, not 2, but 3 of those people are lonely and are socially isolated. And those people are prime victims for this type of pig butchering romance. 3 out of the 10 people on here. Yes, they're saying the number of people that get contacted by this romance scam has increased, who has fallen for this, has increased since 2020. Now, this is the part that I felt alarmed by. 2/3 of the people who go online and are contacted by these people, okay? 2/3 of these people say they felt suspicious. They felt suspicious that these people, they just felt like they weren't right. But for some reason, 12% of these people, 12% of this 2/3, decided that they would still continue these relationships with these people. Okay, y'all, the kids are, it's the people outside talking. I'm trying not to listen. They talking loud. So, okay, so let's go up here now. That I could not believe that even though these people were suspicious and they felt like something was going on and they felt like this person wasn't right, they still talked to this person. So the loneliness and the lack of contact with friends and family. They said the pandemic was the leading thing that increased the levels of loneliness, according to this poll that they took. 6% of the people who had no interaction with, listen to this, 6% of the people who had no interaction with friends or family before COVID-19 had now increased by 11%. It increased to 17%. So before COVID, 6% of people said they had no contact with family or friends. After COVID, 17% of people say they have no contact with family or friends. In March of 2020, more than 53% of people have spent prolonged periods of time alone. Now let me say that again. In March of 2020, more than 53% of people had spent prolonged periods of time alone. This is the people that they surveyed. 53% of them said they spent time alone, prolonged time. 4 or 5 of them, 82% of them, admitted to having experienced spells of loneliness and social isolation. Now, out of the people that they surveyed, 82%, which is 4 in 5, so 5 people, out of 5 people, 4 of them, which was 82% of the people surveyed, said they had experienced spells of loneliness and social isolation at some point. 1 in 5, or 20%, 20% of the people surveyed said they experienced social isolation daily. Loneliness and social isolation daily. And people, 20%, 20% of people, of the, whatever amount those people were surveyed, I'm sure it was probably 1,000 or more people surveyed, maybe 500 or more people surveyed. I don't know, they didn't tell me, okay, or I didn't look for it. But no matter what, 20% of that number, 20% of the people on here watching right now, 20% of those people watching right now experience loneliness and isolation daily. Daily. People, that's a lot of people. So these people reach out to the internet and they become victims because they're led by their loneliness and that isolation. They can't take it anymore. And they said all that does is make you susceptible for a romance scam. They said for those who experience social isolation, nearly 1/3, 29% of those surveyed believed that they had been involved and that they were susceptible to being victims to a romance scam. So they know that they're susceptible to a romance scam, but they're still online dating. They're still putting themselves out there. Still doing it because they don't want to be lonely, people. Despite 33% of the people admitting that they didn't trust the person they were talking to, they continue to talk to that person. Now imagine that, people. Imagine that. Out of 100 people, 33% of those people, 33% of those people will talk to somebody and continue talking to somebody that they do not trust. They said there are a number of reasons that people give why they feel lonely. They took a survey, and in the survey they said, well, why do you feel lonely? What's causing your loneliness? How can we fix this loneliness? And so here are the top 5 reasons. Oh, y'all, we're getting off here early tonight. The top 5 reasons are depression, 34% out of 100. We're going to say 100 because I don't know how many. So out of 100, because I know it was more than that, 30% of 100 people, 34 people said that they were depressed. 32 of these people out of this 100 said that they lacked confidence. Now imagine that. Imagine that. I lack confidence in myself. So I feel lonely because I don't have the confidence that I need to go out here and initiate a relationship or to be in a sound relationship because I don't feel confident in me. So I'm going to continually attract people who are going to take advantage of me because they pick up on that I lack confidence. Wow. Some people say 25% of the people surveyed said they have trouble making friends. So they can't just go out and talk to people because they have trouble talking to people. Some people said they were introverts. And then the fifth reason said, people said why they were lonely was because they were shy. And it's really hard for them to go out and talk to people. That was the fifth reason. So those are the top reasons people said this is happening, that they're falling for these. And the thing about it, they know they're falling for a romance scam. I think the loneliness is higher. There are folks who, yeah, they are, and that's true. That these people are bad and they are isolated also. They are isolated because they don't interact with each other. They don't interact with each other. So I think it's higher too. Because a lot of people, now remember, you're going to self-report in these studies. People are just telling you, and some people are not going to admit it. But I think it's much higher. It's much higher. Yeah, it's much higher. Because right, lonely people are married. Oh, I hope it's not dark while you're walking. Because it's walking here. It's dark here. So be careful. Hence, that's why married folks, yeah, it is. That's what I was going to say. So this person goes out and cheats. And I think they cheat not because they're lonely. I think they cheat because they want to. I think the initial cheater is just cheaters. And then they leave the person. Because even if the person is not if you cheat on that person, if the person is not a cheater, they're not going to cheat. They're just not. They're just going to be done with the relationship and walk away. But then again, some people, I don't know. People are different. But the loneliness, they get lonely. And what do people say? Oh, I was lonely. They didn't talk to me anymore. We didn't spend time together anymore. I was isolated. I was lonely and I was isolated. So what did I do? I went out and I got in a new relationship. So I cheated. So that's what's getting people. And people are entering into these relationships, taking a chance. Taking a chance. Yeah, they having a big party out here at the high school. So there's a lot of people out here making noise. So that's what's happening. People are lonely. People are doing things they wouldn't normally do. All right, y'all. So that's all we got. So now we got the background knowledge on this pig butchering scam, right? So now that we understand it and we understand what's causing it, which is loneliness and isolation, next week we're going to talk about some victims of this pig butchering scam. I'm going to tell their stories. I'm going to let their voice be heard. I'm going to use their stories to warn you and to keep you abreast of what's going on in this crazy city called .com on the internet, in this country called the internet. No, the state is the .com, okay? And the country is the internet. So we got to be abreast of these things because these things will truly impact our repat journey. And 9 times out of 10, if you're trying to repatriate and you're on the internet, you're going to meet these type of people. All right, so I'm glad we got off here early because y'all, I've been working so hard and I'm so tired. So next week, again, we're going to talk about our first victim. All right, so you guys have a great evening. We were only on here an hour and 48 minutes. Good, because more people can watch the replay, because a lot of people say they can't watch the replay because it's so long. Well, this one is short. All right, guys, so I will talk to y'all next week, where we're going to continue this series about the pig butchering scheme. All right, have a good evening. I'll talk to y'all later.